Hi, my name is Dina Petty. I'm the founder director of Mentors Care. Thank you so much for saying yes to being a mentor. Whether this is your first year or you've been with us for several years, thank you for doing this. You are going to impact a life, and it is so powerful. So we hope during this time of training that you're going to be encouraged, inspired, and hopefully very informed. But at the end of the day, you always have your coordinator at your school that you can talk to anytime. You're not alone. And I really feel that that's why it sets us apart, Mentors Care, because this is a team effort. And we have a great team of people that really love kids and really want to see them be successful. So we're just going to go right to it. We have a document, a legal document at the end of our series here that you're going to have a DocuSign where you can sign it, and that'll show that you've been trained. And hopefully you'll also be able to print it off for your own reference. But if you can't, just ask your coordinator and we'll get you a copy of it as well. So here we go. We want to talk about, first of all, what you are as a mentor. It all comes down to relationships. You're a friend. We're not expecting you to come into their life when they've had a lot of things happen to them, trauma, disappointments, sometimes really bad abuse, but sometimes just bad decisions on their life. And so they're on a trajectory that's not very good. So what we are asking you to do is to be a friend, to build that relationship of trust where they can really talk to you about what's going on in their life. That is where influence happens. That's where they'll start listening to you when they buy in because they know you're a friend. And sometimes they're going to share with you some pretty heavy stuff. Just don't forget, you have a coordinator that you can always talk to. When those relationships come about, the heavy conversations really start happening. Sometimes there's some shock. You can always go to your coordinator. You are a role model, so please don't forget that there are eyes watching you all the time. So we don't expect perfection, but we do expect that you realize you're a role model, that you're going to have eyes on you, they're going to be talking with you. We have to have a life that we have a moral compass. We know right from wrong, and we're doing the best we can. We're not expecting perfection for part of the human race. Welcome. But we just want you to realize that you're a confidant. And that is so important to realize that when they share things with you, they need to know it is not going anywhere else, even to your spouse. You don't talk about it in your communities, especially the small communities, but you don't want to talk about the things they're sharing with you. But you always have that coordinator at the school as soon as you finish that conversation, because sometimes it's a little much to handle and you don't know what to do with that information. So that coordinator is there. But other than that, do not share that information. It takes a lot of time and trust for these students sometimes to believe in the mentor, that they can trust them with some of their deepest thoughts, some of their biggest disappointments, and sometimes trauma that they've never told anybody before. So please hold that, as something reverent, because that is very, very important. And you're the nurturer of possibilities. I really believe that you just go ahead and tell them, look, once you get to that place, when you start finding out what their gifts and talents are, and you really believe in what they're doing, and they see that you believe that they can do it, go ahead and dream. And it's okay to dream big. It's not a disappointment if you don't reach that dream completely, because look at where you are now because you believed in something. So if you don't get all the way to whatever it is you want to be, just enjoy the journey and be the nurturer of possibilities of what all they can be. It is so powerful. So we want to tell you what you're not as a mentor. You are not a mentor to the family. And we've had times in the past where the families try to contact the mentors. If that is happening, please call your coordinator and let them know. You are only there for the student. It is a signed agreement with the schools and with you and with the student themselves and even the family. They realize they've signed off with the contract that they are going to allow their student to meet with a mentor, and that all the conversations are going to be in confidence. So you do not have to share with the family. And if you find out the family's in great need, please let us know. We really would love the opportunity to help the families, but that's not on you. That's for our coordinator, who is also a social worker on the campus. So there again, you are not a social worker or a doctor. You're going to hear about some things that are really life threatening sometimes. They need food, they need housing, they need medical assistance. They need a lot of things. We're not asking you to solve all those issues. One of the things we do as Mentors Care, and we're pretty excited about this, in each of the communities we serve, we build relationships with all of the assistance available for the students and their families. We've already done the groundwork. So when you find out that they need something, whatever it is, to be successful in school, so they'll show up every day, let us know, whatever it is. Sometimes it's shoes. And it's just very simple, maybe just sometimes as school supplies. Let us know. We have those connections as part of what we do. And you are not a savior. I know you want to go out there and save the world. That's why you're doing this, because you love people and you love these kids and you want to serve. Just know that these students have been on a path that has been unsuccessful for a long time. That's why they're in the mess they're in. So we don't expect you to come in and one semester or 2 semesters of school, and all of a sudden everything changed. It is a little bit at a time, building relationships of trust. We chip away a little bit at a time where they start buying in to the importance of education, which is important, but also being a successful person with the belief that they can have a future. So if you hear if there's something major going on at home, maybe it's a crisis, you don't go there. You don't go to their home. I don't care even if they're screaming on the phone. You ask them to hang up, call 911. There are people way more equipped than us. Let them go, but then have them call you back. Just know that there are a lot of people that are supporting you in being a mentor as you find out things. It is not all on you. I want to talk about faith because honestly, for a lot of us, this is super important to us. This is the core of who we are, and we want to share with everybody. And I understand that. So the law states that if a student asks the question or brings up the conversation, we can talk about our faith. You are free to do that. But be careful, because if it's perceived as being evangelistic, then we're crossing over the lines and we could be in trouble. So let them carry the conversation, let them share, let them talk. And if they ask, sure, talk about your faith, but just be very careful about that. So we want to thank you again for being a mentor. And here we go into all the nuts and bolts about being a mentor. And thank you, and we hope you have a wonderful year.